Hi guys, Benny here again, straight back from part 7. Alright, so this is part 8. Everything we say in this podcast is based on evidence collected, true facts, and our honest opinion. No hate speech is involved. This is just our experience in the P&C, and pictures of people, any pictures of people are taken from public social media. Now, I know some of my words may come out as harsh or whatever as I'm talking about somebody, but it truly is how I see these people. So, it's not hate speech, it's just who they are, unfortunately. Anyway, so this is the suspended part. As you see in front of me, this is our termination letter that both me and Ian were handed. I'll blow it up in a sec. Let me just get this started. So this podcast will tell you that our P&C Association executives broke the law, broke every bylaw, and broke the rules and procedures, and made decisions by themselves with hiding decisions and actions from all the P&C Association members. The executive keep no minutes for any executive meeting, so they could hide what they were doing when the P&C Federation CEO Gemma congratulated them. P&C executive meeting minutes are mandatory, and the Constitution requires them. Alright, so from this point, you will see how much top secret Denny and her lapdog Craig continually lied, not just to all the P&C committee members, but to the lawyers and the P&C insurance company. How many times do you think these executives, being Denny and her little minions, can actually breach and break rules and regulations? Below is a list of breaches that these two executives, Denny and Craig, did. And then Denny brought in 3 more of her minions to replace Ian and myself, as she finally handed her treasure roll over to one of them. All 5 of them did this within 8 months. So number 1, I have the list here. Number 1, the P&C Constitution. Number 2, the Code of Conduct. 3, the bylaws of governance. 4, bylaws of the executives. Number 5 is bylaws of the membership. Number 6, bylaws of the general meeting, the AGM. Number 7, bylaws, voting and decisions. Number 8, bylaws, policies and procedures. Number 9, grievance, complaints and disputes procedures. Number 10, volunteer rights. 11, code of ethic violations. Did I say it right? Violations. 12, ACNC governance standards. 13, Fair Trading Act 2009. 14, Long Service Leave Act 1955. 15, Defamation Act 2005. 16, New South Wales Industrial Relation Procedures. 17, Australian Taxation Office, the ATO regulations. 18, Crimes Act. 19, Breach of Duty. 20, Misappropriation of funds, in other words, theft. 21, Violation fundraising regulations, so misuse of funds. 22, Education Act. Alright, that's the end of our list. So 22 violations is what Denny and Craig have done. Alright, now this was our termination letter, so I'll bring it up a little bit so you can see what we were handed. This one here is mine. Oop. I have blocked out our school just in case, I don't know. Anyway, it's as this podcast continues, all of the above breaches and laws will become clear, and some breaches happen multiple times. So listen to all the bullshit we had to go through. With these executives lying, being dishonest, untruthful, committing fraud to keep in power and have us removed as executives. Worst of all, in our honest opinion, we believe they stole money raised from the kids of the school for their own use for legal fees against us. We are still looking into this, as we know they drained both bank accounts that the PNC had raised by us and the previous executives before Denny and her minions took over, and stole it from the kids where the money was for their school education. We don't have all complete documents showing all of this yet, but we will, and when they will, then they will pay for what they did wrong to us and the school. With what we have seen with bank records, the PNC had just under $20,000 in the main account in December after we were defamed and kicked out, with the canteen also holding just over $5,000, going by the December meeting held by Denny and her newly elected minions. Our honest opinion is they stole it for false legal allegations against Ian and myself. This is still a working process on this part and being investigated. Seriously though, I mean, how low can they go? Scum of the earth shitbags. Stealing from the school of over 400 kids. That money was raised for the school, not for them to use for themselves, using false allegations against us, when it was clear as day in black and white, right in front of everyone's faces, that they were in the fucking wrong. The Education Act and the Constitution states PNC money can only be used for kids. Majority of this money came from parents that donated to the PNC to help support their kids. Let's show and explain as we go what these so-called executives did. So this is our suspension letter, as I said. This is the email that I sent out in regards to Ian telling me what to say, right? The meeting where we were handed our suspension letter breaches the PNC Constitution, as the quorum was never met. A minimum of 5 members is required to hold a meeting, but there is only 4 of us in that meeting. This meeting should never have happened. On the 15th of September, Denny and Craig called an executive meeting in the school library at 4:30 p.m. Procedures and Constitution says that any executive meeting must be minuted and minutes presented to the PNC committee at the next committee meeting. This is mandatory. The next committee meeting is on the 7th of November. Later in the podcast, you will see no minutes from the executive meeting from the 13th of September present. Okay, so this meeting was never minuted or any minutes of decisions presented to the whole PNC committee. In this executive meeting, myself and Ian were both given the same suspension letter each by Denny and Craig. This suspension letter was also signed and dated the 9th of September. So even if we had sent that apology email out to members where we were in the right to send out information about a vacancy in the executives, we still would have been suspended. If you see, the meeting was on the 9th down at the park. The suspension letter is dated the 9th, but it wasn't given or even said that it would be given if we didn't send out that false apology email Denny requested, so she could keep both executive roles. Craig handed each of us this suspension letter, and you know when you are like in disbelief and you're reading something but it's actually not actually sinking in? Well, that's how it felt at the time. We were lost and didn't understand what crap they were pulling. If we look at this letter line by line, you can see from line 1 the breaches Denny and Craig did in order to suspend us. So let's go back to the top. Line 1. Let's see how far I can blow this up so you can see it. Alright. We looked at this line in two ways. At first, we just look at it as an executive vote. So the School Parents and Citizens Association, as a majority vote, have found you in breach of business conduct. We first look at it like this. Firstly, there is only 4 executive members: Denny President, Craig Vice President, Ian First Vice President, and me Secretary. Therefore, 2 against 2 is not a majority vote. So Denny voted twice. But if you read the bylaws, it states that if it is a tied vote, then there is no decision, and the chair, being the president, does not vote. This must be taken to the committee for another vote. The other problem here is that the quorum was not met. There has to be a minimum of 5 members to hold this meeting, so all votes are invalid also. These bylaws can be shown for evidence if needed. Second way of looking at it. The first line is stating that the whole P&C Association had voted, yet there was no general committee meeting or no special meeting held, and no formal voting at all, no minutes providing there was a committee meeting. If any meeting had been held, we were meant and entitled to be there. But hearing from members and the school principal having no idea of this vote, it's obvious there was never a meeting or vote. So this first line in the suspension letter is total dishonesty, not only to us but to all committee members, by writing Public School P&C Association as a majority vote. In the second paragraph it states, the final act that has caused this action to be taken was noted on the 8th of September at 2:33 p.m. with an authorised email being sent out to all members. If it's the final act, as these two dipshits say, you have to wonder and assume that there were issues or problems that we had caused before this one. There is nothing in previous minutes, no warning letters or documentation anywhere, or any other issue or problems regarding this. This is because there was no problems or issue with us, just more dishonesty and deception from Denny and Craig. At this executive meeting, though according to Craig's, all issues with us have been swept under the carpet, and there was so many complaints from teachers, staff and parents against us. It's okay saying all of this if you have the evidence to prove or back it up, but Denny and Craig proved no evidence. They had no proof of anything at any time whatsoever. Absolutely nothing. Craig had said to us that while we were volunteering in the canteen, another volunteer had walked out of the canteen because of us. Also no proof of this ever either. The canteen manager, Kayla, said no one walked out of canteen because of us. Actually, here is a picture of me telling her that I could still volunteer, but it says down here, we won't let anyone suffer. Volunteers complained about us and did a walkout. Can go back to helping you. We don't mind. Happy to go back to house duties and clean up. She says, wait, what volunteers walked out? Exactly, Denny and Craig, what volunteers walked out? So I contacted the school principal via phone and found that no complaints have ever been made against us from teachers or staff ever. We were seen as highly respected parents of the school for what we do not only for the students but for the staff as well. So yet again, more dishonesty from Craig and Denny. I even helped with the teachers out in the classroom, volunteering to help them out. If there was any complaints whatsoever, this would not be happening. The last part of the second paragraph states, right, so let's go back to the last paragraph. Is it up here? No? Yes? The last part of the paragraph states, an unauthorized email being sent out to all members. Okay, so this part here. So as I said, this was the email. This is what I had read out to you guys. This was just my mobile number, so it's just blocked off. Before this email was sent out, Ian spoke to the P&C Federation about Denny having 2 executive roles. Once via email, once via a phone conversation asking if Denny's votes for president were null and void, as she did not resign as treasurer first. Ian was told, yes, they are null and void. Therefore, Denny was not actually president anymore, just the treasurer only. We spoke to another Federation rep, Gabby, who is in our association committee, and she advised us to send the email out to the members. So we have 3 different Federation members confirming everything before this email was sent out. As Denny's votes were now null and void, she forfeited the role of president. So in this case, the vice president takes on the role as acting president as per rules and regulations. Therefore, the email was sent with the acting president's approval, as it was authorised by him. And if you read the email itself, it says, as advised from the P&C Federation. Denny just reads what she wants to and ignores the rest. It was not something we made up. It was sent out on actual facts, which is something Denny and Craig never provided, or didn't even have to start with. Unless getting her minions to make up false stories like all these fake complaints the school made against us. The third paragraph states, additional breaches of business conduct, which do not align with the Public School P&C Association and the P&C Federation of New South Wales. Alright, so the actual breaches. Unapproved communications that have not been peer reviewed, including but not limited to social media post, P&C minute records, and email communications. Number 2. I get stuck on that word. Let me just skip that first word just so I don't make a fool out of myself anymore. Terms and slander to executive team members, P&C members, and the general school community. Unauthorised self-appointment of positions within executive committee, along with no formal consultation or following of necessary procedures for election appointment of position, with making falsified and unapproved statement of appointment positions with executive committee to broader member committee. The first breach. No emails have ever been sent out prior to this one, and no mention of emails have ever been brought up. Only one P&C meeting minute, which was never brought up, which one P&C meeting minute was ever brought up, was where Denny had an issue as she did not want something mentioned in the minutes, but everything that was said in the P&C meeting had to be recorded in the minutes. It's procedure, whether Denny liked it or not. So no social media posts were discussed except by a member who had no authority to review posts. This is done by executives only. Something that is not peer reviewed is not a breach of the consultation. No, Constitution, sorry. The second breach, we have never ever slandered anyone. Yet according to Danny and Craig, we go around the whole school committee slandering parents, calling them names without a care in the world. Just more dishonesty about us. Ian sent an email to Danny and Craig on the 2nd of October asking to see all complaints against us. I believe I have that here. Oh no, that was the next, no, actually where is it? I don't know where it is now. Somewhere along here. This one. This is the one we need. This email gets ignored with no proof or evidence is ever given or seen. Not one, nothing at all, absolutely nothing. This proves everything they say is bullshit. So again, not a breach of the Constitution. This third additional breach is exactly what the email that we sent out is about. So how is it an additional breach? So let's go back, shall we? So so this is what the email was about. The statement made, which Danny and Craig says is fake, is a statement made by the P&C Federation, and this is and can be proven from emails from the Federation itself. Once Danny's votes for president became null and void, her position as president became null and void also. Hence Ian becoming acting president as procedure. No election was necessary, as it was a temporary appointment until the next meeting. Therefore, Denny is saying the P&C Federation don't know what they are talking about, and she does not need to follow their or any rules and regulations. How can Denny and Craig accuse both of us the same thing when Ian had nothing to do with the minutes or social media? And how can they accuse me of unauthorized self-appointment? These two dipshits have no idea about anything except whatever they want to do. We were also removed from all-member chat group, which is also a breach, which is what you would have seen as I flicked through, which was this one. So this was removing Ian. Where am I up to? Yeah, so as paying members, we are entitled to be part of all member chat groups, and this is confirmed by an email from the P&C Federation as well. So Denny wanted the password to the OneDrive and also control of the P&C Facebook page. So I had tried numerous times to add Craig as administrator on this P&C Facebook account, but could not find this profile or anything, no matter how many times I tried. Craig was even sitting there next to me watching. Only an executive can be admin of the page, and Denny did not have a Facebook account. So even though I tried over and over again with no luck, with Craig watching my every move while sitting next to me, then I said when another executive is elected, I will try and add them instead. Denny says that our suspension is indefinite, but the grievance, it says pick 14, so I'm guessing it's the next one. Yes, this one, which is ours. The grievance, yep. Complaints and disputes procedures states that this must be completed within 6 weeks of the date issued, being the 9th of September date or letter signed. Ian told Denny and Craig about this time frame of the complaint, and Craig even replied, 42 days. So Craig obviously knew, but tried to make it indefinite like Denny wanted. This first suspension letter from Denny and Craig breaches almost every bylaw multiple times adopted by the P&C Association, but also the Constitution along with the Code of Ethics. Alright, the next picture here. Alright. On the 19th of September, as you can see the date at the top, The principal sends a text saying, "I was called by a fellow principal stating that someone is sending out messages to all the P&C presidents and sharing our troubles with the canteen manager, Tracy's payments, etc., along with other internal fighting. This makes our school look dysfunctional and out of control." Denny responds. I'll have to go to the next part in a sec. But Denny responds with, "Oh, this is really unfortunate that this is occurring for both the school and the P&C. This sort of information will indeed tarnish the school and us as a P&C. Furthermore, this is the sort of information would and should only be privy to the P&C executive and not related to others." Sorry, and there's the rest of her chat. Look at this stupid dumbass. Danny again thinks everything is for the executives to only know, but information is for all the P&C committee members to know, not just her and who she picks. This actually made us laugh. Principal's meeting was for her ears only. She really is a pathetic joke. Even though Denny says she wants to keep communications open with everyone, what she really means is just her and her boyfriends and maybe their lazy wives. This means this meeting was for everyone. Our principal was going on sick leave. He spoke to us before facing the Antichrist. Denny. Denny made out he was joining the secret agency. Hush, hush. On the 20th of September, Craig sent me a text message asking for a code that was sent to my personal email account. This code that Craig was asking for was to change my personal Facebook account. As you can see after that one. I was getting these messages. So I know when you request to change a password or whatever else on Facebook, or you log in on a wrong account or something, Facebook will send you a message saying, "Here is your code to reset." Now, I didn't just get one, I got a few. Now, this is from Craig. Alright. Let's go to the next part, because he says here. So Craig sent a message to me asking for a code that was sent to my personal email account. This code that Craig is asking for is to change the password on my personal Facebook account. I wrote back to Craig asking him to stop trying to change my personal Facebook account and that the P&C Facebook does not have a password. He knew all of this at their little bullshit meeting they held when suspending us. There's my comment to him, telling him to bugger off, in other words, and that I'd be reporting him. Is Craig really dumber than shit? In my personal opinion, it certainly comes across that way, because he didn't attempt to hack my Facebook once, but over 3 times. He even sent his damn picture saying, add me. What the fuck? Here I am saying, I have told you, even in the meeting, that I cannot add you. It's dumber than fucking dog shit. Here is another one, or is that the same one? I don't know. I sort of lost count. So as you can see of this email, it is requesting to change my personal email. I don't know how much clearer I can be with you. Holy fuck. Oh, okay. Craig has to be one of a kind. He's the reason we need these fucking warning labels on these items these days. It's a joke. It never ends here. Anyway, more to come as time is up. So I have now been talking for 30 minutes. I can only do around 30 to whatever minutes. So I'm going to leave you here at this. And tune in for part 9. I believe this was 8. So I'll be back with part 9 in a few days. Thanks for listening. Remember, send a message or reach out if you want to know anything or need to see anything, whatever, we are happy to disclose that with you. There is no issue or problem whatsoever. Anyway, I will see you on the next round. Bye for now.